I mentioned in one of my other videos that there has been like an uptick in so many boxy tees coming out recently, that there are so many designs. I was making my own, but then I decided not to because there was so many out there on the market. I'm going to go through my top picks on Ravelry and then decide which one I want to knit at the end, and also the yarn choices that I have in mind for making those. So stay till the end to see that. So for me, because there's so many boxy tees out there today, I wanted to go through which one I'm going to end up picking at the end and what I'm personally looking for in one. Everyone's style is going to be different, so if it doesn't suit you, I'd like to know what you're looking for if you've made one, and if you've made anything in the list that I've mentioned today, please let us know in the comments what you thought about it, because I think that feedback is always really great. All of the tees today I haven't obviously knit yet. I have the plans ready and I've got the yarn and stuff ready, so I'm going to go through and sort of let you know my thought process and how I decided on the one that I wanted to make in the end. Actually, before I get started, I'm going to let you know what I'm wearing. Today I'm wearing my Lost off-shoulder top. This is the long sleeve version of it. I actually was going to wear my own ringer tee, which I do have a pattern on. Again, I love boxy tees, so this is one I designed like 4 or 5 years ago now, and I actually cannot find it because I put my summer stuff away somewhere. I decided to wear this one instead, and this one is, yeah, my long sleeve version. But before I get into all the styles of boxy tees, I'm going to go through what I'm sort of looking for in a boxy tee and what I think makes a good boxy tee. I feel like I've said boxy tee a lot. So the first is the ease. For me, I like a tee that has a lot of positive ease. I feel like a tee should be just really loose and flowy and fun. Specifically for a knitted tee in that boxy style, I think having it like quite loose everywhere with no shaping. Crew neck is quite nice. I think I prefer a crew neck that does sit just very specifically on the neckline, because I think that has such a classic sort of look. Sleeve lengths, I think, look good obviously above the elbow. Hemlines, I think I like a really nice, neat hemline, just straight across, no fuss. In terms of drape, I'll get more into that when it comes to talking about the sort of yarns that I would use for the knits, but I think like a classic cotton is always the best way to go, but I have more thoughts on that later. So my first boxy tee, I'm going to bring up my own, I'm going to be that person, is the ringer tee. Like I mentioned before, this was one of my first patterns that I ever made. And again, because the style is just boxy, it was quite easy to design. I designed it with about 4 to 6 inches of positive ease in it. It's worked on an Aran weight yarn because back then I was all about making things a quick knit. I have worn it out and it's been quite nice out. It's okay on me. I don't tend to sweat as much, like generally, but overall it's quite a nice knit to wear. It's like such an easy throw on style of knit. It's called the ringer tee because it's like those classic ringer tees that you get back in the day. I'm all about the retro style, I'm all about that, but I wanted to modernize it a bit with like this thicker yarn. I think the thing I love about it is that you can obviously mix and match colors and change it up, and it's just really easy. It's a top down drop shoulder style of knit, so if you wanted a quick knit in a pinch, it is the perfect type of knit to make. The yarn I did use for that was Wool and the Gang, or We Are Knitters cotton yarns. They're both Aran weight yarns, worsted Aran weight yarns. I use them interchangeably and they come in a really great selection of colors, but you can also use yarns from Paintbox. Paintbox have some really great yarns in the different weights of it, and it's really budget friendly, so that's another alternative that you can use. So that's the first pattern on my list. I remember this from last time. I'm going to move to the side so that I can actually show you guys a pattern here. The next pattern that I have has actually just been released. It's called the Gaia Tee from Cookie the Knitter. I'm just looking at my laptop as well. If I'm looking down, it's because I'm looking at my laptop here so I can read it. So it is a short sleeve top down knit. From the construction, it looks like it's got a saddle type of shoulder, if I can see the back here, which I can't, but it looks like it uses pretty basic techniques, maybe just in a different way. It has 3 to 8 centimeters of positive ease. So 1 to 3 inches of positive ease. A bit more than that, like 1.75 or something like that. I always get them confused, even though I'm a designer and I should know this stuff. It looks to me like a saddle shoulder, but reading from the description, it sounds like an interesting construction. I'm just like having a read of this and it sounds like an interesting construction. So you cast on your work back and forth with increases until the desired shoulder width is reached. And then you join in the round. It probably makes more sense in the pattern. But the overall effect looks really nice. It looks like a saddle shoulder, so that's what I thought it was. But reading that description, it sounds a bit different. And it looks like it's got this like really lovely detail on the shoulder. So you've got your shoulders and then the stitch comes down. So I don't have pictures of the back here, so I can't see the back. As a design, I kind of love a nice clean stitch along here, or a nice clean like join along here. It looks like they've held 2 yarns together, fingering weight yarns together, knitting for olive pure silk, which I haven't tried myself. It's kind of hard to get here in Australia and shipping is such a pain. I think my Australian friends know what I'm talking about. The neckline and the hem and the cuffs all look like they're quite neat as well, like the perfect style of just neat crew neck tees, and it's not too oversized. I don't know. I like the tee as like, it reminds me of those classic white tees where you have it and it's not too fitted, but it's not too loose. So it's kind of like the perfect crisp style. And I think this would be like perfect in a white yarn to make that, you know, classic white tee sort of style, like jeans and a white shirt sort of style. That's how I imagine this is. Next up is the Friday tee from Petite Knit. This is worked in a fingering weight yarn. And it is a lovely, looks like raglan striped top. So it's worked in a broken rib stitch pattern. Sorry, I'm really phlegmy because I'm just getting over a cold. So you know how that phlegm stays in your throat? It's gross. And this coffee is not helping, but... So this one has 2 to 3 inches of positive ease, which looks like it's still quite like, maybe just like nicely fitted on. So it's not like obviously tight, but it's nice and fitted. You can see the sleeves are quite... not tight, but obviously not like overly loose. But on a fingering weight yarn, I kind of forgive that because if it's against your skin, you don't want to be too heavy of a yarn. So it can still have a bit of like airy breeziness. And I quite like a broken rib and a textured sort of knit, and the stripes sort of add this cute little element to it as well. This one has a double knit neckband. So I assume it's just folded down, or it's literally double knit, like it's like a thicker collar. I don't know how I feel about that for a summer knit, but I do love the look because it can be very, very clean. So because again, it's on fingering weight yarn, I think I can forgive that. This one I would work because it is a bit tighter against the skin. I would go towards more of like a merino wool yarn, and especially because you're going to be feeling it against your skin. So I think that is probably a lot better. But this is a really cute tee if you wanted something that was textured for summer. Next up is the Arches tee. I might get her name wrong, so I won't say it. I'll put up on the screen. This is a sport weight yarn. I think it's obvious what drew me to this pattern. This pattern has really lovely detail on the raglan line, and it is like this really sweet curve that goes like around like that. So reading this, it is a short sleeve t-shirt with drop saddle shoulders, and it is worked top down. Yay. I should mention a lot of the patterns here are going to be top down because that's my personal preference. I will honestly not work a pattern if it's not top down. I will actually probably quit knitting if I have to work bottom up. That's very dramatic. Like I would quit knitting. I wouldn't quit knitting. I would just not knit it and then make like Instagram trendy reels saying, I hate bottom up. So this shirt has approximately 1 centimeter positive ease. So it's meant to be a bit more tight fitted, not tight fitted, like it's going to sit sort of loosely on you, but again, it'll sit quite close against the skin. I think it looks really nice and it's got such a lovely, elegant detail. The neckline is another crew neck. It is a lot slimmer. So it's quite a slim sort of neckline on it, which I've moved over, which probably suits this design a lot more because you don't want to take away from the elements along the raglan of it. And it looks like the hem might be worked the same going off of the photos here. I'm personally looking for something with a bit of a thicker hemline. So not hemline, but like, you know, collar style, and I could probably just make this with a thicker collar, but it looks like it would come up a little bit higher than I would like. But outside of that, this is like a really, really lovely knit. The next style is this Lakes Tee by Ozetta. It is worked on a fingering weight yarn. It is another saddle shoulder style of tee. This is how I thought the first tee was made, the Gaia Tee, but I think it might be a little separate. So it looks like, just from this, it looks like it uses German short rows on the pattern, which I can see in the neckline on the flat lay photo. It has, it's raised a little bit higher. So that's really great for shaping, which allows you to have this higher neckline, which again, I really like on this. I think it might be a double neckline. I can't be sure. Just from the photo, it looks like it is. And it's folded over and it's quite neat. It's a 1x1 rib neckline. But again, in that flat lay photo, it's got like a really lovely straight join here and it looks really nice. This one looks like it has a lot more positive ease than the other styles. So the finished bust circumference, if I'm looking at my size, it has about 6 inches of positive ease, which is something centimeters. I know it looks like I should be good at math, but I'm not. Whatever 6 inches is in centimeters, that's how much positive ease it has, which you can tell that it does have that. And it looks like it's longer, but again, you can crop that yourself. And it's got the style that crops at the elbow. I do love a saddle shoulder style of knit. This definitely looks like a really fun staple that you could add to your wardrobe as well. Okay, next up is the Air Tee. This is also by Ozetta. Honestly, sometimes I just add these to my list and I don't actually look at who the designer is. It just like appears and I'm like, oh, I like that. I like that. I like that. This one is another fingering weight yarn style of tee. The thing that drew me to this was the back part of it, the back element of it, because there are shirts and tees that you can get, you know, like sewn ones that have that element. And I think that's what she was going for with this design. It also has like a very simple neckline, like a rolled neckline, it looks like. Just from the photo, yep, no, that's not a rolled neckline. That's an I-cord neckline. So it looks like it's like stockinette and then it's got the I-cord for it. Now that I've said rolled neckline, I think a rolled neckline would look really cute with it because you would just work the stockinette and then it can just roll on its own and create like its own I-cord. But looking at the construction of this, so it's worked top down, features drop shoulder with loose fit, front of tee is kept minimal. So it doesn't really say how it's sort of constructed, but going off of this, if the technique has a Judy's magic cast on it, I'm imagining you work that back panel first and you cast on provisionally, or Judy's magic cast on one side. You work it across like that way. And then from there you pick up your stitches around it and work like your shoulders down. And then you'll pick up those provisionally cast on stitches after when you work the sleeve. And I'm just going off the photo. I actually haven't made it. If someone's made it and that's sort of the construction of it, let us know because yeah, that's really, really interesting. Like that's really cool. That's really fun. My designer brain is getting really like excited about this. If I, want to make it. Ooh. Anyway, so it has like 5 inches of positive ease in the pattern, which is a really good amount. I love positive ease. Okay, next up is the Skyline Tee by Tori Yu. This is worked on a fingering weight yarn as well. This has obviously all the classic elements of a tee, but it does have the lovely sleeve you guys can see. Looking at the schematic here, which is amazing, it looks like it could be a drop shoulder, but I think top down saddle construction and shoulder with ribbing details. And then I assume you pick up at each shoulder. I feel like boxy tees that have saddle constructions are looking like really, they give the tee like a really classic feel. They make it feel very neat and like crisp. I think I said this before though, like crisp, like lettuce, iceberg lettuce. Though I don't mind the other lettuce, the one you have at Korean barbecue and you wrap it up and you eat it and it's like the best. I think the ribbing's always a lovely detail if you wanted a bit more texture on your knit, or if you wanted something that was like a summer tee but textured. This is sort of the perfect type of tee for that. The crew neck is really lovely along here. It sits a bit lower here and it looks like it's a 1x1 rib. Yep. I think this speaks for itself. It's inspired by alluring city skylines. This crop tee is ready to become your new wardrobe staple, which I agree with. I really like it. I think it's like a really nice knit where if you wanted like a tee that looked like a knitted tee, I think this is like a really good one to make it look like that because it's really, really nice. Did I talk about the ease? No, here, 4 to 6 inches of positive ease. That's the perfect amount. I kind of like the 4 to 6 inches range. In my own designs, I always aim for 4 to 6 inches of positive ease. I feel like it's a good in between because then knitters can choose if they want less ease or more ease. And that's like a good base to have to adjust. So you can just like sort of size down or size up because then you can get like 2 inches of positive ease or something. Or if you wanted more, you can get like, 8 inches of positive ease, which you guys know what I mean. The next tee is the matched up tee by, we're going to move over, Alida Varak. I hope I'm getting the name right. I'm sorry if I'm not. So this is worked in a sport 5-ply yarn. This one looks like it is top down. Yep, it's top down and it's got a straight fit and everything can be personalized, like the sleeve length and the body length. It has 5 to 15 centimeters of positive ease, which is, I'm going to be good at the math, 2 to 6 inches of positive ease, which is like quite a large range. So it means you can probably like choose up and down. This one looks like a really fun, easy one. It does look like it has short rows here. I assume it's going to be worked on the neck, but it looks like it's also a really simple like top down pick up knit. So you would work the back first and then you pick up for the fronts, work those down and then work the rest. So if you're after an easy knit, this might be a really good one. It's quite a simple design to not have to worry too much about what's going on your shoulders. You just have to worry about one section first and then the next section and then join it all together. This also has, it looks like a twisted rib on the neckline and then the cuff and hem look like they have like a folded edge and then up here is the twisted rib. And looking at the drop as well on the shoulder, it doesn't look like it drops too much either. So it sort of drops like around here and that's quite a nice spot for things to drop. It means that it probably won't pull too much on this section here because there's like obviously less to drop. So I think that's like a really nice design if you're looking for an easy style of knit. Next is the Vega Tee by Lenit. This is worked on a worsted weight yarn. I'm just reading this. It says it's top down. The tee has short sleeves that are knitted along with the upper body. There is no sewing involved as the body and sleeves are shaped with the increases as you go. Oh, that's interesting. It must be a contiguous style of shoulder. If I can get a picture of the shoulder here. I'm not too sure how that is worked. It looks like it's, oh here, construction note. The top of the back is knitted and stitches picked up for the front. Each side of the front is knitted separately. The slanted shoulders are shaped with short rows. Then you knit to the beginning of the neckline curve. Stitches are now picked up for the sleeve. Oh, okay. That makes sense now. So this is basically a set-in sleeve style of shirt. Set-in sleeves can be a bit more of an advanced style of knit because it involves short rows, and I think short rows scares some new knitters especially, but I love I love set-in sleeves. I think it's a classic style of sleeve. It's one of those things that creates less bulk at the underarm. So all these other styles drop shoulders, which can create bulk at the underarm. It hasn't been an issue for me. Like that's something that doesn't really bother me. I like the airy feely. Those aren't real words. But this one looks like, yeah, it's got a set-in sleeve shoulder, which is, again, very classic. And it looks like it's worked with the same as the other style where you work the back and then you work the front and then you pick up for your sleeves and then you work it down. That's really fun. And it looks like it's quite fitted as well. Not like fitted, but it's got a little less ease. So about 2 to 4 inches of positive ease. The neckline looks like an I-cord or a rolled neck, like I thought for the other tee. Yeah, this one's a rolled neck. And then the bottom is ribbed, but the cuff here looks like it's rolled as well, which looks really, really good. I did mention this one in my other video about summer knits. The tee number 1 is from My Favorite Things Knitwear. This one is worked on fingering weight yarn. It has the classic saddle shoulder drop and then the sleeve, and it's got the same sort of cuff not cuff, neckline where it's folded over, and I think she uses like her seaming in, which I've seen on her tank. I haven't knitted the tank myself, but I've seen others knit the tank, and it's quite a nice seam line, and I think it's been utilized here as well. And that's worked across the cuff and the hem as well. So this knit has about 4 to 6 inches of positive ease in it. And again, it has those really nice, clean, straight lines. Yeah, this one gives off some really lovely classic vibes. It's got a nice crew neck along the front here, and it looks like it works short rows so that you can lift your back up a bit. I feel like with a lot of the tees as well, if you wanted to, because it's a summer knit, you could work it without the short rows, assuming you don't mind wearing your knit with the back part a bit lower. But that won't be for every knit. You sort of have to look at the construction of the rest of it to sort of determine how you would want your neckline. This one is a favorite. I love that it's in a fingering weight yarn. I love that it is nice and loose, and like I said before, 4 to 6 inches is like a really nice positive ease to have, like I personally think, on knitwear. And it looks like she's used some cashmere, like she's held cashmere with merino wool, so it gives it like that really lovely knitted classic tee look. Next I have the Simple Tee by Pearl Soho. This one is a raglan style, and it's got that rolled neck I was talking about before. I'm going to click in closer on this photo to make sure it's a rolled neck. Yep, that's a rolled neck. And it's also got it on the sleeves as well. And it looks like it sits it looks almost like boat necky, but I wonder if this has short rows. It might have short rows. Looking at the flat lay, it looks like the back does come up a bit higher than the front. I chose this one because I didn't really have a raglan style in my tees, and I do enjoy raglan knits. I do have that petite knit one that I mentioned earlier, but this one's like a nice blocked oversized style, and it looks really simple to make. Looks like you just knit the neckline and then work it from the top down, and it's seamless, short sleeve. It looks like quite a simple knit, and it's worked on worsted weight yarn, so it means that it'll be quite quick to work up as well. Pearl Soho are always great. Like when I started knitting, they had so many patterns on their website I was going through, and I'm like, oh my God, this is like amazing. They have free patterns, they have not so free patterns. When I went to New York back in like 2016, I went to their shop. I wasn't really like a serious knitter then. I was like a casual knitter, and I remember going in the shop and just being so like, oh my God, because everything's like all the way up, and it's so cozy in there as well. It's so nice and cozy. Yeah, I missed out. I didn't buy a lot of stuff because, again, I was a casual knitter, so it was more just like, I'm here, I'm going to have a look at it. And I remember being very enamored by it, but if I went back, it would burn a hole through my money. What's that thing you hold the money? Wallet. Through my wallet. Next up is the Freestyle Shirt by Paula Strict. It is, again, a top-down raglan shirt. There is a strapped version on here as well. I absolutely love that. This one feels really nice. I like the photo where she's rolled up her sleeve. So it feels like, you know, that movie where they roll up the sleeve and then you put your cigarette in it. I might be showing my age right now, and then they tuck it up, and then it's like Mel Gibson in that movie with the fighting. I haven't actually watched it. Anyway, this is worked on a sport weight yarn on 3.5mm needles. So this one also has short rows on it. I'm loving so much that all of these have short rows and they're thinking of the knitter in mind. I think a big complaint, not even like 5 years ago, was people saying that the necklines and things don't fit. So I think more people are learning short rows to learn how to work that. If you're a beginner and you don't want to be, learn short rows, because that's like, once you get that down, it's like you can do so much shaping with so many things, and you can adjust things how you want. You can adjust patterns how you want. That's my fun tip for today. It looks like German short rows might be the most like advanced thing you could have in this pattern. And I think I just enjoy the real classic look. I think she's chosen the perfect sort of colors to showcase her design. Sport weight yarn is perfect, and it looks like the ease might be not too much. Let me see, 88 centimeters. Oh, it says here 5 to 7 centimeters of positive ease, so 2 to 2.8 in relation to the body. So again, this is a really nice sort of slim fitting sort of tee, so it's not overly boxy, and that means that you can wear it with everything. Who knew you could have so many styles of tees? So out of all of these teas, the one I am leaning towards the most is tea number 1 by My Favorite Knits. I think some of you guys may have guessed it since I mentioned it in my last video and this video. I personally love it because it's got a beautiful drape to it. And so for me, I like wearing tees that are like really drapey and loose, and especially a knitted tee, I prefer that. It's also worked on fingering weight yarn, which is the draw for me, because it was either between this tee or the Gaia Tee, which does look very similar, but it looks like it's constructed differently. But that one's on a DK weight yarn, and I think I would probably prefer to go towards a fingering weight yarn to work my summer knit. Also, the tea number 1 has a lot more positive ease than the Gaia Tee that I just personally prefer. It's one I could style and knit different ways. So I could crop it, because I do have a tee that is very similar, like a sewn tee, that I could wear cropped, and it's great because I could wear high-waisted pants with it. But then also with this, I can make it longer and then drape it and tuck it into my pants, which I know it's a style that some people don't like, but I personally really like it. I think it's like cool girl vibes, like whatever a cool girl looks like. The other option I was thinking was going to be the Skyline Tee, because I do love the detail on it. And then that one I would knit as it is and keep it as it is, because I do like having something that looks knit. So it's like a shirt, but it looks knit, and it's like got an extra detailing that you wouldn't get on a regular crew neck shirt. So those are the 2 styles I would go for the most out of these ones. So I did mention a few times the type of yarn I would probably use for a lot of these knits. The yarn that I would lean towards the most for any style of shirt would be merino wool, because it's just a great all-rounder. It will keep you cooler in summer, especially leaning towards the fingering weight, but even the DK weight's fine. This currently that I'm wearing is a merino wool, and it is long sleeve, but I would use yarn like this to work a summer knit, because it would drape quite nicely, like it would drape quite easily. And it means that if you do something like accidentally stretch it out too much, it'll bounce back at least, so you don't have to worry too much about that. The next yarn I would try is a wool cotton blend. This one is one I got in Japan from Daruma. I'm not sure if that's focusing, but it is, let me see, wool and cotton. Like I said, merino wool, 60% merino wool and 40% cotton. I haven't knit with this yet, but I'm really looking forward to knitting with it. So this is a fingering weight yarn. I think I only bought like 2 skeins of this. I might have more. I actually don't think I ever really went through my Japan haul last year from when I bought yarn, but I think I bought 2 skeins of this. It's 166 meters. So I can make like a very cropped shirt with that. I'm sure I have more somewhere. I just have to find it. The other yarns I would use are just cotton yarns. I have a whole lot of different cotton yarns in here. These are baby cotton from Hobby Yarns. I've obviously had this for a very long time. I haven't used it yet. This is leaning towards a sport weight yarn. From the feel of it, I don't think it would drape too much, but it does feel like it's quite nice to wear, like it'd be nice against the skin. I also have this Drops musket from obviously Drops. This is a DK weight yarn. This is a cotton yarn. I think I bought this to make a tee with, like maybe 2 or 3 years ago. If you watch one of my videos from a couple of years ago, I think I did do like a yarn haul with this yarn in it, and I've still got it. This has been a couple of years that I've had this, and I've got different colors like red, white, blue. So yeah, with those yarns, I'd probably work a shirt that doesn't have a lot of positive ease in it so that it doesn't stretch out too much. I do like the colors I've chosen. I feel like I could make one of those like rainbow sort of style of knits with it, or I could knit the Friday tee with it maybe, where it has the textures and the stripes and stuff. That could be kind of fun. These are some more yarns I picked up in Japan as well. I'm going to take them out of their thing so you can have a closer look. So I really had no plans for this when I got them. I just saw them and I thought they were cute. You hold them with a different yarn, you hold them with a yarn, and it adds like a little effect to it, kind of like holding mohair with yarn. And I haven't really figured out what I want to use these for yet, but I think if you wanted to knit a summer tee with a bit of a effect, I think these would be so perfect for it. I hadn't really planned on that yet, because I think I do like my tees with solid lines and solid looking classic feels to it. So maybe when I'm feeling adventurous, I do love these so much. Like, I want to knit something with this. Maybe I'll end up making a sweater with this and not a tee. But I feel like it would really make a summer knit look really fun. And particularly this one, it has like shiny, it's a bit shiny. I don't know if you can tell through the plastic, but it is a little bit shinier. And I find that really, really fun. So I don't really have an end to this, but if you guys have a Boxy tee that you've made or you like, let me know in the comments. Honestly, I did say that I would knit the my favorite things tee, but I could change my mind between now and by the time summer comes. So if there's one that you worked that you really enjoyed, let us know, because I like hearing about other people's thoughts on why they choose certain knits and why they knit certain styles. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video. I'll see you guys in my next video.